I have a feeling a lot of that's getting cut too.
We're being real awkward. And we're going to cut all this.
We're going to cut it and then put it at the beginning and the end of the episodes because that's what I do and it's my favorite part. Okay. In fact, that's going to be the clip at the beginning of the episode, I think. I'm fucking editing before we're even done recording.
We're cutting you up. This is all remixed.
This is becoming a science project.
In the back of your eye.
Welcome to EM. Yeah.
You get a double entendre of welcome to the EMG Radio.
I don't know if that's what that means.
No, it's not. It's completely wrong.
It works though. They know what you mean.
You get a menage a two.
Menage a dos.
Dos Equis, hello.
It's 2 X's.
Stay thirsty, my friends. I think I just advertised for them. Those fuckers.
We should get some kind of kickback for that.
Yep. Where's our YouTube money?
This is episode 5?
5.
Holy shit. This
5.
is episode 5 of EMG Radio.
It's the anniversary.
It is. A month ago, we did first episode.
I was going to say.
1 month. I was busy that month, man.
You're going to need to get, like, some parade noises and shit or something. Or, like... yeah,
oh, that's like
presidential
that's
thing.
Like chicken president.
Chicken.
We have an exciting show for you today.
For sure.
I'm Randy.
And I'm Steve.
And that's it. We are -1 Louie today.
So it's just 2 of the blind minds.
Yep. It's no good. We don't have the panty moistening voice.
Yep, the seductive voice of Lucy.
He's still lost in that Tamiel Sanazaki track from 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, we lost him too.
We don't know where he's at.
Everybody's been trying to call him.
We've got kind of a big show. I was hoping to play a bunch of tracks for you this time. The last couple episodes were a little short. They are good. They're full of content. But, you know, they were a little shorter, so I wanted to try to provide you with a little bit longer show. So we cut out one host, so there's less to talk about, I guess. I don't know how that's going to
Since we always have so much to talk about in the first place.
Well, I'm trying to add... I was talking to Atticus after the last interview. I was talking to him for a while. And we're totally going to have him co-host with us sometime.
Which would definitely be awesome.
It'll be super cool. And he had some good ideas for structuring the show, which I probably should have spent the last week implementing. But I didn't. I was doing other things.
Busy.
That's like news. The emgradio.blogspot.com site got a redesign. It's all super slick and pimpy-like.
Oh, yeah.
Take a look at it.
Click on some things.
We got featured artists now. We're going to have a featured album every so often. Those will both change.
Be pretty cool.
The current featured artist, of course, is A Drowning Angel, since we had that interview with him last episode. And if you click on there, you just get really, it's just kind of a couple of our thoughts about the band. You can listen to some of their music there. Why are you laughing? It's almost like something was cut out of there, but the listener will never know.
Nothing's happened.
Don't look at the man behind the curtain. Yeah, that was a fucking Wizard of Oz reference. Killed it, dude.
And we're done.
Shut you down.
No more music.
But there's also links to Drowning Angel pages, of which there are many. They've got Twitter and Facebook and YouTube, and I know there's like a blog or something that I couldn't find that they maintain too.
Getting that viral marketing going on.
Mm-hmm. Moving on from that, we'll go ahead and kick into the first track.
Oh, yeah.
And I'll go ahead and introduce this one. I might have had a little something to do with this.
Uh-huh.
It's Forest of the Mind, Absence by Glass. This is a remix by Control-Alt-Destroy, and you can find this on the Forest of the Mind single at glass.bandcamp.com. That was Forest of the Mind Absence Mix by Glass, remixed by somebody.
And by Control Alt Destroy.
Somebody
Pimping his own shit.
Who the fuck is this Control Alt Destroy? Why is he throwing shit on this radio?
You know, it's always good when you can get a couple other artists making things together. That's the glory of our group.
And I'm a remix whore. I love doing remixes, man.
Give Randy your noises.
I will.
And he will make things from them.
I will chop and mutilate and sew them into a new being. You can find that song on the Forest of the Mind single on glass.bandcamp.com. Also check out more Glass information at www.facebook.com/glassband.
Actually, I have to say that song's actually kind of catchy. The chorus or the hook or whatever really did stick with me when it came down to it.
It's an awesome song. I was super glad when I was given a chance to mix it. The original is pretty sweet. And he will have a new album coming out in October, I believe, October 12th. Introvert.
That is definitely some news.
I'm excited for that.
That'll be awesome.
Alright.
Alrighty, so we're going to be moving on. We'll get things going. This is Punkybeauty by Autonami from the album Concept. It's somewhat of a mixtape, and you can find more of Autonami's stuff at autonomy.bandcamp.com. So let's check it out.
It's in the music.
It's in the music.
We didn't do that last episode. It's kind of become a staple.
That was Autonami with his track Punkybeauty, and as from the album Concept. You can get all your Autonami needs at autonomy.bandcamp.com or check out his Facebook page at facebook.com/autonomy.
Autonomy. He also does the intro and outro track for each episode, which is pretty cool. Like theme song for us.
Yeah, no, which we are definitely grateful for.
Yeah, it's appreciated. I think it sets it on fire. It makes it sound.
Sets this town ablaze.
It does. When you hear that beat, you're like, oh yeah.
Oh, I'm about to listen to a couple guys ramble on about nothing.
And good music. No, yeah, I do need to put, I've been trying to think of a little more structuring things. We've discussed a couple things in the past. Maybe people listening to this can give some input. For one, and I was talking to some other people that like non-musicians, and they were asking about the show. And they're like, well, is it just for musicians and stuff? And, I was like, oh, of course not. It's got music. It's for everybody to listen to. So that makes me think, one of the suggestions that people from the group had was like, we could do tutorials and stuff. Now, how do you think that would fly with regular listeners is my concern about like tutorials and such.
I think it could be actually beneficial. It might get a few people who
interested in
know about electronic music but don't necessarily understand how it's done. They might see that's a little bit simpler than what they initially thought, and we could get a whole lot of people joining the group that we didn't even think would be musicians.
That makes sense. I'm always trying to push, whether they want it or not, trying to push non-musicians into trying their hand at music, because anybody can do it now.
And we could also do a little thing where we kind of maybe touch on the tutorial and then leave a link for an actual video tutorial or something like that too.
One thing I was thinking about, and I don't know, you guys could let me know how much interest there would be in this, and this could be something that would go on the YouTube channel, which is www.youtube.com/EMGartists.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. A little smooth pimp in there. But we don't have anything up there yet, and I was thinking it would be cool if different EMG artists could produce like a short video of like making a song.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Kind of showing how they put their style into it, because
it doesn't have to necessarily be step for step, but just kind of like a behind the scenes, or throwing a couple tips out there, like here's what I do, or here's one way to go about this. I thought that might be cool.
Yeah, because everybody's got their own little styles, their own little tricks of the trade, so that way you might not understand how Randy gets some of his stuff cut up, and you might want to get a chance to look at it, or even through any of the other artists. I think that's definitely a positive way to do things. I definitely think we should try doing some stuff like that.
Yeah, I was thinking about taking the first step and doing that with a Three Blind Minds or Control Alt Destroy song. But I thought I'd just throw it out there since we're talking about it now,
Yeah.
And see if there's any interest out there.
Get some of you other people doing it.
Yep.
Speaking of getting some of you other people to do some stuff.
You bring up a valid point. EMG 1.5 to the... should we address things like this, the EMG artists, on the podcast?
I say yeah.
I know we're our primary listeners.
Yeah, exactly. I've put a call out to most of the EMG artists who actually do listen to this to let's get in on some of this 1.5 remix.
Yeah.
So that way we can move on to 2.0 and just keep barreling ahead to bigger and better things.
Pumping them out.
Get that crazy train.
Get crazy. We're going to get the EMG train on you.
EMG train. Bunch of dudes sitting in the basement running a train.
Yeah, we need remixes of EMG 1.0 songs, which for listeners, if you don't know, is a free compilation album. It's 14 tracks by 14 international artists, and you can find it at e-m-g.bandcamp.com. EMG Radio. It's in the bandcamp.com. That's bad, right? I have a feeling.
It's a whole sentence after this. EA Games, it's in the handheld controller that you hold and play.
Which you gotta buy at a store.
Yeah.
For $300.
EA Games, it's a key code.
It's like you gotta register your children with us. We need every piece of information before you can play our games.
You didn't think you were a number?
Oh, shit. That's like my worst fear. I feel like we're going into SMD here. But, which you can find at Saturday Morning Dubcast.blogspot.com.
Oh, smooth pimping.
Oh. Is it really smooth when we pointed out every time? I think it is.
I think it's even smoother. What do you got? It's like Jif.
Jif.
Smoothie.
Smooth, and it gets stuck on the roof of your mouth.
Yeah.
Like a dog. Stuck with your mouth agape, staring at the ceiling.
It's dirty.
Dirty.
We're putting good things in your eyes. We're in the back of your eyes. We are in the back of your eyes. I don't know why that was so funny to me. It's probably because I'm sleep deprived.
Are you?
Burning at both ends for the most part.
You did text me this morning saying you were going to bed, that you'll be around this afternoon.
Yeah, I was going to say, I didn't get to sleep until 9:30 this morning, and I was up at 11. So.
Whoa.
We're rolling.
Dude, I think that's how you should do all the shows, man. You're doing pretty good. The last one you were probably well rested for.
Kind of.
Kind of?
Yeah.
Don't worry, some of this will get cut.
Like I said, man, I have been burning at both ends of the candle when it comes down to it. Between work and everything else I have going on, it just gets a little hectic, which makes it understandable why we all got things going on, and it's hard to get that music out there.
Nice. Bringing it back around.
Bringing it back!
All right, before we sidetrack and bore the shit out of everyone, the next track is by our MIA buddy.
MIA.
Who is at work today. Gotta make those dollars.
Until we're famous.
And then we gotta take your dollars.
And then we're taking it.
This is Rave by Subliminal Hit from the upcoming album, Subliminal Deep-Good Times. You can find Subliminal Hit information at facebook.com/subliminalhit. And you can listen to some of his various sounds at soundcloud.com/subliminal-hit.
Dynamite! was our friend Subliminal Hit, our missing in action friend. That was Rave off of his upcoming album, which is called Subliminal Deep-Good Times, which is an album that I'm going to be anticipating just based on the fact that I get to do a little remix on there, and I haven't got to do any mixing for a little while.
Nice. Subliminal Deep.
Subliminal Deep-Good Times.
Good times. I love that title.
I actually do too.
Yeah. Subliminal Hit is a great band title too. I always thought so. I'm a little jealous. We'll just say that.
Give me your name.
Give me your number.
Just so that way when you're listening to this later, you can get a little scared. You're just gonna continue to hear whispers of, I'm not a number.
Well, it's not like it's a fucking fear of all of a sudden I'm gonna wake up and I'm a fucking big
7.
number 5 or 7 in fucking bed and I got no arms. I'm just a 7. But when we don't need to get into this, man. I was just about to.
It's called childhood fears.
No, it's called fever dreams, man. Fucking weird. Okay. Let's move past that. And everybody is a number.
Randy broke from the system before we all did.
It's no wonder I am the way I am, though. That's all I'm saying. It was ground into me. Subconsciously.
Subliminally hit.
Subliminally. Yeah. I was subliminally hit as a child. That's fucking gold.
That is gold. I'm gonna subliminally beat my children.
I'm gonna subliminally beat. So much of this is gonna get cut.
So bringing us to our next track.
The Great Ellipse by In Sequence.
From his album, The Dividing Line. And you can find more of his stuff on insequenceband.com.
That album is pretty sweet. It came out not too long ago.
I love the synths. Love the synths from it.
Yeah, I really like the sound that In Sequence has going on. Kind of bouncing between the acoustic type sound and the synthy. Some of it's kind of like the 80s synthy, and then you mentioned there's kind of the 90s sound. It's very cool. And you can check out more In Sequence at insequenceband.com and insequenceband.bandcamp.com. As well as search them up on Facebook.
Yeah.
We were just checking out some electronic music sites, and we come across some pictures of people's like retro style synth setups, some like classic Moogs and stuff. And we were kind of discussing, we obviously come from the school of fucking digital software synthesizers and stuff. And you look at some of those pictures, some of those setups, and I'll have to remember to check this out. I'll post links in the show notes to what we're talking about.
So you can get a chance to look at some of these contraptions.
This video, wow.
People had to do to get some of the synth noises that we're coming out with now with just a couple, little clicks of the mouse. These people had to have
patch wires going everywhere. And so that kind of brings up an interesting topic. I know a lot of us use software synths, but some of us have some synthesizers, and I'm sure are looking to expand their studio gear and stuff.
Collections.
What do you guys think of? What if you had to use the old school synths all the time? Like, because my hang up is, I am sure the sounds are awesome and you can get some amazing sounds, but my hang up is I like being able to tweak a synth, save that preset, and I can pull that exact preset up anytime. But some of these setups with the patch wires, there's no way you could remember it. Once you undo it, that sound is gone.
It's undone.
Yeah.
And like, even if you could find the same wire setup, like getting the knobs back to what you wanted is impossible.
But I guess in a way that's kind of speaks to the generations born into like digital age, and just where technology is where people feel they have to be able to save everything. You got to videotape everything, photograph everything. You got to be able to recreate it or relive it somehow.
Leaps and bounds, really, because like even in this just scrolling down of these videos, like the last few are the hardware synthesizers where you're using patch wires and stuff like that, and then you go up top and there's a guy on an iPad.
Yeah, exactly.
Like he's got the exact same instrument, but he's using it on, like a little 5x5 plastic piece.
It's
amazing the leaps and bounds we've came.
Yeah, that statement could be controversial. There's some hardcore people on the analog. But I think software synths you can do pretty good with this. Like, I'm not necessarily of the school that you can't accomplish the same sounds with software.
I think whatever you're using to make the noise, it's really the music that counts out of the whole thing.
This is true.
As long as you're putting out the sound that you wanted to put out, who gives a crap what you were using, whether it be software or hardware at that point,
Who gives two shits?
Who gives two shits?
All right.
Giving birth to music. Every day on EMG.
EMG Radio.
Born from the music vagina.
Born from the music vagina.
Screaming, we come screaming into the world.
Whether you like to hear it or not.
EMG!
He regrets that.
Catchphrase. I need to find a laugh track and fucking pipe that shit in. Every time I say I regret that, laugh track. But you know what?
We also should find some of the royalty-free screams or whatever, Mm-hmm. Like
the name for that certain scream you're talking about?
Yeah. Everybody knows scream.
If you don't know what you're talking about, what we're talking about, you've heard it.
Probably more times than you even know when it comes down to it, because I was surprised to hear that they used it a bunch in like the Star Wars movies and stuff like that. Blew my mind.
Yeah, Yeah, it's in like every
It's kind of like
movie.
it's kind of like the goofy thing, you know, the goofy, you know, that type of thing.
It became kind of like a joke in itself, and that's why it kept getting used.
We'll have to put a link to it so that way you guys know what we're actually talking
we'll put
about.
a link to. We'll find like the history of this like certain Scream recording, and I'm sure I can find it.
It's called like the Hawthorne Scream or something like that.
Something like
Some
that.
weird thing like that. Some dude basically did a Scream back in the day, and then they just used it over and over.
And it's kind of goofy. Once you've heard it, you'll know what we're talking about.
It's kind of like in movies, they use the same newspaper a lot of the times. Like, if you see somebody reading a newspaper in a movie, especially in the 80s and the 90s, it's the exact same newspaper.
Door creaks and stuff like that, too. Yeah, they have the same, much like me in my music creation, they have the same, like, library of samples and sounds that they just pillage over and over again.
Pillage. So we're pillaging you.
That's how I am with drum beats. There's certain beats that I like a lot, and I end up using those over and over again. Like, I have a million fucking drum sounds, but I use the same ones over and over again.
Yeah, same here, actually. I'm always going to the same sample folder to pick out that, well, you know the noise that you're looking for. So you find one noise that's random, and you're like, oh, I love that noise, but what's going to go with this? Oh, I'll go with my favorite snare.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Maybe try to find a variant.
And I don't know why I feel the need to keep asking the listeners this, but as musicians, how do you guys go about drum sounds, you know? Throw us some comments on these things.
We'd love to open up a comment corner.
Yeah, we'd love to open up a conversation with you guys. Throw us a comment. Maybe we'll bring it up on a future show. And we also, on the EMG Radio.blogspot.com site, we have a contact tab, so you can shoot us an email. Let us know what you think of the show, or respond
bitch at us for something, or
yell
at us for saying some comment that you thought was out of line or was funny or whatever. Tell us what you like and tell us what you don't like. It's the only way that we're gonna learn from our mistakes and learn from our happy accidents.
And if we don't like it, fuck you. We'll keep doing it.
Yeah. If we don't like it, we're gonna send you hate mail back, and we're gonna sell your information out there.
If you bitch about something we like doing, we're just gonna do it even more.
Yeah.
Send us your complaints, motherfucker.
Bring it on.
ZFG. It's gonna be in your ass.
It's in your ass. We're behind your eyes. We'll bring you up to speed with our next little ditty. It's called Red Vessel, and it's by Space Disc Jockey from the album God K. You can check out more of his stuff at spacediscjockey.com or his Facebook page at facebook.com/spacediscjockey.
Red Vessel by Space Disc Jockey. That's, oh yeah, Steve was just commenting, that's a very cool sound.
I was gonna say that last little, I don't know, fly noise or whatever. It's really cool. It sounds like this dub. It's a dubstep fly, and he's circling around you.
Yeah, in headphones, that really does a number on you.
Yeah, it is.
Head, man.
It's good. Good times.
You can find more Space Disc Jockey at spacediscjockey.com and facebook.com/Space Disc Jockey.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, we're gonna go ahead and kick right into the next song. No banter this time.
Yeah, you guys are tired of hearing us talking anyway.
It was about time to get some fucking music. Again.
EMG Radio.
Play the songs.
Motherfucker.
The next song is Enemy by Our Imperfect Future. Said it like you.
We're fighting because of this. This is Enemy.
The next song is Enemy by Our Imperfect Future. I don't have to keep it going. I like Our Imperfect Future, man.
I really do too. Solid. That's all I gotta say.
Our Imperfect Future from the album The Darkest Storm. You can get that album at ourimperfectfuture.bandcamp.com. Also check out their Facebook page at, you guessed it, facebook.com/ourimperfectfuture. Check this shit out.
Check it.
Frustration. I've heard enough.
That was Enemy by Our Imperfect Future from the album The Darkest Storm.
You know, they really did a good job of keeping most of their songs on the same relevant, like, you know, they pick the album name, and most of their songs kind of revolve around that.
Kind of the concept,
sort of thing.
Yeah. Yeah, the album's good. It feels very cohesive.
It definitely
as a whole.
is.
It's an album, and that is something that is lacking.
Oh,
a lot.
especially in modern day music and the mainstream modern day music, man. It's very hard anymore to get an album that you can listen to all the way through and want to not skip anything. You know, I was even talking about it just a couple days ago with some of the people I worked with. Modest Mouse is an artist that surprisingly I could fucking start at the beginning of their first CD and just go through. Like, I could have that playing all day long, and all their stuff is cohesive with each other. They're telling a story almost, you know?
Oh, I agree. Their albums are excellent. I was on a big Modest Mouse kick for a while.
It's really easy to get into, actually, because it is. You start playing one song, it's almost like watching Trailer Park Boys or something. You start watching one season, and you're like, I gotta finish this. Yeah. So, good job, guys, at the Our Imperfect Future Studios, working it out, rocking it out.
That's very good. And that reminds me, next episode we will be talking to Rob, the frontman of Our Imperfect Future. I'm excited for that. I've never talked to Rob. It'll be cool.
Yeah,
I've conversed with him in text form quite a bit, but I've never actually spoken to him. He's been very helpful.
We get voices.
With voices.
With voices.
I'm gonna interface with your face with my voice. Now I feel real creepy.
Man, no, I'm anxious to hear it too, because Rob, I don't know, he always seems like he's got a really...
And he is a wordsmith.
I was going to say, he's very good with his words, man. Like,
he is.
I don't know, that time that he typed that email about that
rib-shaped patty
the rib-shaped patty. That, not only did it crack me up, but my dad was in tears based on that. He loved it.
I know a lot of you aren't going to know what the hell we're talking about, but Rob knows, and I'm sure some of his friends on Facebook know. It was excellent.
It was.
There's no way I can post it for you guys, but just know it was good.
It was the most epic upon epic customer reviews that you could probably ever either type or read.
It was good.
I guarantee the people at that company that received that customer review did not know how to deal with that one.
No. That's good on you, Rob. That's good.
Prop. All right, though, back to the music.
Back to the music.
We're going to move on, keep everything rolling on this little crazy train, and we're going to go ahead and play a song by Onslaught 6. It is called When the Sky Cracked Open. It is from the EP Tidal Wave. It was released in 2009.
Yeah, this is an older track.
So
he's had... That's why I noted the date. This is an older one. I reached back because this is one of my favorite off. I don't know that it's his first album, but it's the earliest I could find. But it's one of my favorite Onslaught 6 tracks.
The old music reach around.
Yeah, well, so to speak.
Album reach around.
I'm sure the album reach around. Like I've been at the front. It's time to reach around.
Again, this is When the Sky Cracked Open by Onslaught 6. You can check out more of his stuff at onslaught6.bandcamp.com or facebook.com onslaught6band.
6 spelled out S-I-X.
When
That was When the Sky Cracked Open by Onslaught 6 from the EP Tidal Wave, released in 2009. You can check out more of his stuff and more recent stuff from him on Onslaught 6, spell it out, six.bandcamp.com, or his Facebook page, facebook.com/Onslaught6, spelling it out again, SIX band.
Yeah, I had to pick that older track just because it's one of my favorite. I wasn't sure what he wanted me to play, so I picked my favorite. Get the hate out.
Get the hate on and the hate out. Oh,
we're getting down there,
I was
man.
going to say, we're going to be rolling up to some of our own stuff.
Some of our own. It's always a little strange playing our own shit. Like, I like it.
But hey, it does
Since we're
kind of feel
hosts,
like...
it feels very self-serving.
Yeah, conflict of interest.
But I'm always fair about it when I get the songs. It's not like I'm playing Control Destroying Three Blind Minds every week. It's like, hey, Atticus, thanks for this interview. Listen to some Three Blind Minds.
Here, we'll do an interview while we check out some of the music I just cut together. What'd you think about it? Oh, you want to play some of yours? No.
No.
Why would we do that?
Every episode is Three Blind Minds Takeover.
Exactly.
No, we exploited that the first episode, which was fair. We played 2 of our songs in a row. Not a big deal.
Now we're actually getting to the point, though, that I was mad at us. Because we were looking through our list of stuff, and I'm like, man,
We were trying to pick
we
our
need
song.
to make some more music.
We do. It's time to get on there. So, yeah, I guess that's some news. Three Blind Minds going back into the studio, finally. We kind of started something, but
A little bit.
it slowed down. Maybe because some random asshole was like, hey, we should fucking podcast every week.
And job and shit like that, too. That's the biggest thing. I went from working 3 days a week last year to now I work 5 to 6 days a week.
No, that's true. That has been a big part of it is schedules. It's always, if I could get paid just to do this shit.
Yeah, exactly. It'd be so much nicer.
I don't have to be rich. I just need to live and do it.
Yeah. Where's the replicators?
Or, yeah,
That's what I'm talking
Star
about.
Trek, you
Let's
lie.
change the game, mother. On a lighter note.
So the next Three Blind Minds albums will be called The Phoenix Files. Just putting that in your head. This is not
Yeah.
off of that,
And you're gonna love it.
but you are going to love it.
This is a little taste of the Three Blind Minds last album.
Get it in your mouth.
Get it in your mouth and behind your eyes. This is Well Renowned by 3BM, and it is from their album, or our album.
I was going to say, you say it there, it's like, we don't have to play. I debated. I was like, are we going to play like it's not us? It's us.
It's us. It's always us. No.
It's from the album Ghosts in the Collective.
Yeah, Volume 1.
That infers there may someday be a Volume 2.
Maybe. If you guys play your cards right.
If you play your cards right. Volume 1 was kind of a fucking difficult thing to put together.
Yeah. We broke up and then we got back together. No. But alright, you can check out.
Did a rebound.
Rebound.
We had some-
Rebund. But alright, this is Well Renowned by us, the Three Blind Minds, from our album Ghost in the Collective Volume 1. You can check out more of our stuff at threeblindminds.bandcamp.com or our Facebook page, facebook.com/threeblindminds. Get in ya.
Get it in you.
We are the voices of the masses, no longer puppets for your upper classes. Cut our strings and we think you'll find you'll be the ones that are left behind. We are the voices of the masses, no longer puppets for your upper classes. Cut our strings and we think you'll find you'll be the ones that are left behind.
motherfucking thing you want. There is no question that oppression only begs for blood. Coming attractions, passion, blasting passion, dud. We went searching for a drop of truth, then we found the blood. And in the end, everything that's good is gone. If there was ever any good in it all along, you're crazy to call this democracy, where 1% rules the majority.
Besides, not about to go back in time to the 5-star bazaar. Fucking with congeniality, brutality, a new kind of fantasy. Fear, fascism, conformity. It's a space invader, and it just ain't me. Holy hierarchy, snake villain, great digger, infested, big joke indeed. WikiLeaks, big beaks, exploiting lies, and in that the truth is free. It's easy as 1 to see. Now, if only we weren't imposed with your debt. Persecuted, jail cells, slow action law. Heavy traffic, drug deals, innocent death. Not just a dream to get away from this scene. It's a dream to get above this thing. Dream this obscene? Hell yeah. And don't forget to believe it, bitches. Fucking with congeniality. Fucking with congeniality. Brutality. Fucking with congeniality. Fucking with congeniality. Brutality.
Hey, did you hear the news today? Mass pollution of the world while we all getting raped. You can't run from the horror on the front page. If you are, then you deserve to be trapped in your cage. What loose ends do we have here? Lost promises in a world full of fear. Who's pulling the strings? It is a puppeteer. You know what I think? He's just another peer. No better than me, you're better than we. You better see it's best to be free and believe in your dreams. You see what I mean? When everything comes tumbling down, communities will be the ones running the town, instead of the ones with Sam pimping the rest of us out. The rest of us out.
Open up the graves for the masses. We'll lay down while it all happens. Don't give a fuck if the economy crashes, cause it's built up on worthless plastic. Open up the graves for the masses. We'll lay down while it all happens. Don't give a fuck if the economy crashes, cause it's built up on worthless plastic. Open up the graves for the masses. We'll lay down while it all happens. Don't give a fuck if the economy crashes, cause it's built up on worthless plastic. Open up the graves for the masses. We'll lay down while it all happens. Don't give a fuck if the economy crashes, cause it's built up on worthless plastic.
That was well renowned by Three Blind Minds. That's a very unusual track.
It really is. It's kind of something I think brought us out of our comfort zone a little bit. You can definitely tell in some of the lyrics when we did it.
It's not preachy at all.
No, never. None of our songs are preachy. What are you talking about?
No, I
love America.
Love it. It's true though. That's not.
Yeah, it is true. We love America so much that we just are tired of seeing what has happened.
The song, I agree, but the song says what it says.
Yeah.
I do like keeping the Three Blind Minds, of all people, I would be saying this, but keeping the Three Blind Minds message there, and then, we're here to do our job here. Now get out and do your job.
You do your goddamn job.
I actually kind of feel like I ruined that outro. I'm going to say it constantly. You're going to get sick of it.
I regret this and I've ruined it.
I haven't ruined it. I don't feel too good about this. I don't think this is going right. Positivity. Positive Jones. That's what no one ever called me.
It's all about them positive vibes, mother.
Good vibration.
I'm picking up good vibration.
Hey, we don't have performance royalties for that.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to leave it. I don't think they're going to sue us over that.
Bad publicity is good publicity, that's what I said.
Yep.
Bring it, beach bitch. If you can get out of your chair. Actually, those motherfuckers still tour.
Do they?
Yeah. Gotta give it... that's something that I think is different in our generation.
Dude, I don't think I could tour right now.
Yeah, that's...
I have to take fucking doctor with me. Keep me alive, doc.
But, our generation gets to hear a lot of the older music from back in the day. Like, a lot of the bands like Rolling Stones and Aerosmith and... They're freaks, going out on tour,
That's fucking mind-blowing.
But, they weren't dealing with that. When they were growing up, those guys didn't have the artists still going out and touring and stuff,
No, you don't think so?
Not as much, man.
I don't know. I don't know. Yeah,
I'm sure that there was a few,
It was a little different.
Do some research, but it was
a little different though, because the shows I think back then they weren't quite as high energy and taxing. Although the tours might have still been kind of taxing. Not that it was crazy, fucking reckless abandon, but
you're still on the road for endless amounts of hours, and usually. I don't know, my brother, he's kind of friends with Corey from Slipknot or whatever, and he said that the worst part of touring is the fact that you're literally on a bus for 18 to 27 to 28 hours or a plane or whatever, you're sitting in something, and then all you're allowed to do is, get off of that designated place, and then you're singing in front of a bunch of people.
Go ape shit, do your fucking music
and then
thing,
you're back into
and then back in the bus, yeah.
That's actually why why a couple of his albums, he said, were more phoned in than other ones, is because he found out that the more that he stressed his vocal cords...
Are you talking about the Slipknot guy?
Yeah.
Okay.
The more he stressed his vocal cords, the more the production company wouldn't allow him to have time to himself, because they would be like, well, you have to save your voice. Your voice is our voice.
Yeah, we own it. That is our
instrument. If you blow that out, you owe us, basically, And that's why a couple of his albums, he even said, he's like, I had to phone it in, which is crazy, but...
Yeah. Well, it kind of sucks. That's the influence of, big the company.
Exactly.
That's
big music.
Yeah.
Good old big music. Thanks, guys.
Nobody says it like that. They should.
Yeah.
They say big oil and shit.
Yeah, but it's the same thing. Big music, man.
It is for sure.
I'll stop stealing when you stop putting it out there. No,
That's one of those questions I ask. Not necessarily, you fucking stealing music?
You steal my tracks?
What's your name, address, and IP address?
I'm taking you to court, mother.
But that's one question I've been we've been doing the interview episodes, and I've been asking the question about digital distribution and how that affects us, the smaller guys, you could say.
Yeah.
And of course, our answer is going to be a lot different than anybody that's trying to make a living doing it. But pretty interesting answers out of there.
No, it is.
If you want to hear those answers, check out episodes 2 and 4 of the EMG radio shows. We interviewed Drazen of Ezra Yates and Brian Atticus of A Drowning Angel, respectively, 2 and 4. They both had pretty good answers about that.
That's definitely cool. I was gonna say it's actually just weird to hear, even from like people who aren't musicians, to hear the people that, you know, totally do get behind the musicians. You know, like even the big guys, like, well, you're stealing from them. You know, which I mean, you are.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you're not necessarily. You're taking a 26-cent royalty that they're getting while their company is making all of the money off of their hard work.
Well, that's the exact point I was going to make, and maybe I'm wrong in making the point, but the artists, the people that are losing out the money, and I guess you could make the argument that the artists get paid by the record companies, but the artists generally get paid pretty pitifully.
Comparatively.
Yeah, comparatively to the record companies, they don't get a fraction of the shit, you know? So it's the record companies that are losing out. The artists, I doubt, really see it. And most of the money, and everybody pretty much knows this, is made from touring.
Oh, yeah.
You can't fucking pirate a fucking concert, like a live concert experience. That's not something
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Ticket scalpers, I guess. But from what I understand, the record companies have basically taken on practices that are pretty much ticket scalping.
Yeah.
Have you heard that?
No. I'm just agreeing with you.
I'll cut that if you want.
No, it's fine.
Okay. Then I'll cut me saying all this. But, well, it's been a long time since I went to any concerts. I kind of got, soured on big concerts and stuff.
Well, anymore, some of them, like some of the ones you want to go to, they're ridiculously expensive because Ticketmaster, again, another big company, makes them have to, them as an artist, spend out the ass, you know, which is ridiculous.
They have been called Big Ticketmaster. You know, they've gotten that title. But, well, I guess what a lot of companies also will do is they'll, you know, when a tickets are gonna go on sale, they have so many tickets. Mm. The company themselves will take a huge chunk of those tickets. They'll take a bunch of tickets, set that aside, so that, you know, they have these many tickets to sell. They just basically sell those tickets to themselves, or however that works, so that when the tickets sell out through Ticketmaster or whoever, they make those tickets that they took available at these like, I can't remember the name, but these like other second-rate sites for like twice as much. You know, like, oh, you can't get them through the whatever. They're like scalping the tickets themselves.
That's some BS.
Like, that's the way it seems to me.
BS.
I've never had to deal with that, but I don't go to a lot of concerts anymore.
A point on that, just from the Ticketmaster thing, recently there's a comedian I like, Louis C.K. He just went on, he's starting a new tour across the U.S., and he made like, I think 4.5 million in 24 hours or 48 hours or something like that. And it was based on the fact that he didn't go through Ticketmaster, because originally he was going to do his show and Ticketmaster wanted him to charge, like, I think it was like $100 and something or
to see his show?
To see his show.
A comedian?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Tasha's is like $74.
That's crazy.
But they want him to do some ridiculous price, and he said, he's like, no, I'm a middle class comedian. I try to make people that work hard for a living have a little bit of joy, you know, like I can't rightfully try to
rape their pocketbooks.
Take their money. So he went on his own website and he found a kind of, you know, it's kind of like Ticketmaster, but it's more of a smaller, do your own type thing. So that way that you can just you allow however many tickets you want, and you can show the venue spots and stuff like that, but it's basically just goes through your website, and I'm sure you have to pay them some form of royalty or whatever, but he only had to charge $45.
Nice.
So he made, in like 24 hours or 48 hours, he made probably double or triple what he would have made by
yeah.
going through Ticketmaster.
And I bet a bigger chunk of that then goes to him, huh?
Yeah, exactly.
That's smart, you know.
It is smart.
And with the internet and how everything's so like it's so easy to fucking be connected directly.
Interconnectivity.
Yeah, it's the big companies can't go around pillaging like they do, you know, like.
Well, that's why they're fighting so hard to take over the internet and make it so we can't have the freedoms that we are so rightfully supposed to have. Considering they're so used to taking it from us in our regular life, they might as well take it from us in the digital world.
What is this, a Three Blind Mind song? Some crazy hippies over here.
God damn.
Oh, shit.
They're coming for us, guys!
I bet that crash sounded fucked up. So does me putting my face against the mic trying to pick shit up. Oh, shit. Made every clipping red light. Dude.
EMG Radio.
They're coming through the windows.
Coming at you. From behind your eyes. I think that's my new catchphrase.
Behind the eyes.
From behind the eyes.
And mine's like, I regret this. I regret everything.
I regret all of this.
But I don't feel good about this. And now we go to Lou in the traffic copter for an update.
Whoa, I'm pretty high up there, guys. Well, how's it going?
Going good down here, Lou.
Awesome. I just thought I'd pop in real quick from the traffic copter to introduce the next song for you guys.
What do you got for us?
Right now, I'm about ready to pop you.
How ready to pop you? You popping up there?
Pop you in the mouth.
Does the height make you aggressive?
Ah! We're about to spin the next track at you. It's gonna be Blackened Frost by Tamiel Sonozaki. That's THAUMIEL SONOZAKI. Check it out. check out more Tamiel Sanazaki at facebook.com/TamielSanazaki and at TamielSanazaki.bandcamp.com. Check it out. Louis out.
Thank you, Louie, and the traffic copter.
Yeah, whoa! Ah, going down!
EMG Radio.
We're coming up to the end of the show, and I'm actually kind of dreading it. I'm enjoying this little conversation we're having here.
This little convo.
I think we actually did start to hit some interesting topics.
Yeah, I think so too.
But
This will probably be the one that you guys hate the most, so I'm glad we like it. Fuckers.
You think we do this for fun?
That was almost some like ICP shit. Like, you want my couch?
You can't have my
You can't have my couch.
Okay.
Give me your motherfucking tippy toes. Yeah, we're real juggalos.
We're not. Juggalo. We're not going to end it on some
Sorry.
ICP shit.
Yeah, sorry guys.
What is a juggalo?
We're not gonna cut this. We probably should
We should.
because we've made you all sad.
If the little tiny
Some music news though.
respectability we had
Milli
is gone.
Vanilli. Just joking.
Hot off
We were just talking earlier that
presses.
we wanted to try to find some news segments about music, and we
Yeah,
were
like-
scrolling through
yeah,
some of the different sites that have information, and it's ridiculous because you can't just be like, oh yeah, Ableton released version 1.4.
Update to Ableton. Riveting news. Hot off the presses.
Get a different in and out channel.
Yeah, electronic music news. Maybe we're just not looking in the right revenues or avenues. Avenues. Maybe we're just not looking in the right avenues for it. We're not getting any revenues from it either. That's for damn sure. But it's hard to bring. We're finding it's difficult to bring you like electronic-based music news.
Yeah, exactly.
Because it's all like, this plugin released today, and unless we actually had our hands, we could review some shit.
Yeah, that's pretty much how we'd have to do it.
But I'm not gonna buy every. I'm sorry, I'm not gonna buy every plugin that comes out to mess with it, and I don't have time for that.
Yeah, we're not doing none of that.
Fuck your news.
Fuck news.
Here's news. We got music. It's good. I should not cut any of the times I said I'm gonna cut that. Turn it into a drinking game, and everybody gets sloshed.
Just get hammered. It's like playing the Thunder drinking game.
The thunder, like when it's storming.
AC/DC.
Oh, okay, yeah.
If you've ever drank with some freaking hillbillies or some backwoods people, one person's gonna try to tell you to listen to some AC/DC and take a drink for every time they say thunder. Thunder!
I have. I've played that game with people. Yeah, it wasn't my idea.
Yeah, it was you and me that went to that.
It was a party?
That
It was at a house,
hillbilly
right?
ass party where some dad was dancing clearly with
Holy
his
shit.
younger underage daughter while the mom was like, "Get in here! Let's dance with her!" Like, egging it on. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, I wonder what's going on while you're gone, Mom.
Holy shit, I forgot all about that. That was pretty creepy.
Disturbing.
Wasn't some dude running around naked outside, too?
Yeah, at some point. I
Yeah.
think it was the dad,
The
wasn't
old
it?
guy, yeah. Wow.
That was a weird situation.
That's a story for another
I was
time.
going to say, 30 pack of stones always brings you to a weird, weird realm.
That's why I don't drink anymore. Them days are over.
Long gone. But alright, since we're coming up to the end, we'd just like to
Since we're
remind you
talking
if
about
you
the
have
end.
any comments or questions or anything you'd like us to talk about, just
We're lonely.
send us something so we have friends.
Talk to us.
And then we'll send you hate mail.
We'll tell you to fuck off, but, it's appreciated.
But yeah, you can always get us at, was it I'll let you do it because you know it better.
I got that.
Pimp
Well,
it.
dude, I've been working on the fucking website for like weeks now, so it's in ground. Wait, no, that's not right. emgradio.blogspot.com, and if you click on the contact tab, in fact, if you want to shortcut all that shit, although you shouldn't because there's some pretty cool stuff on the landing page, but emgradio.blogspot.com/p/contact will take you to the contact form to email us.
And we would love to hear from any of you guys.
And I believe you need to put an email address in, of course, and so we can talk to you back.
Yeah.
But we don't do anything with any information that's entered in there.
Except for laugh.
Does this except for laugh at your silly fucking screen name? Talking about you.
You know who you are.
You know who you are.
If you're feeling guilty, you should.
You should.
It's like me.
Also check out, and this is another place to talk to us, check out the official EMG site, which is www.electronicmusiciansgroup.com. And there you got forums. Like, you just straight up talk to us. And we're still in the process of herding some of the members over to use the forums. And that's another thing. Members, we got forums over there. Check it out. Some pretty cool stuff happening. But you don't have to be a musician you can set up a profile on that page and chat with us. You don't have to be a musician. It's there it's open for listeners too.
Yep. Even if you just like to listen,
come
on over.
It's an excellent place for like the latest news on what we're all doing.
What we're doing.
You can even get peeks of stuff before it's out on album or released at all.
Which is cool.
Very cool.
Alright, so we're going to be wrapping this 5th installment of EMG Radio up. I'd like to thank you guys for listening to us ramble at you again.
It's a very rambly episode.
Yeah, for sure. We're actually going to end things up a little bit differently. We're just going to kind of let you guys drone out to the last song of the evening.
Also, real quick, before we get to that, I'm going to ramble a little more. I want to thank all the artists, the EMG artists, that let us play their music. We get permission from all of them before we play anything, and they've been very cool about it.
Definitely. Because the things we would have to go through to try to play any other type of music would be outlandishly ridiculous.
Yeah, these guys aren't getting any performance royalties. They are doing it out of the kindness of their hearts.
Musical hearts.
They're so good. They're such good people. Alright, so check out this track by Ezra Yates. This will be the last track. We're not coming back after this.
No.
There's no coming back.
We're never coming back.
We're never coming back. What if we don't? What if something happens?
We might have just jinxed ourselves.
I think dead men talking. This is Roman numeral 4 is the track title. 4 by Ezra Yates from the I'm talking brand new.
Brand spanking new.
Brand new album. Still has the new album smell. Smell it. Smell it in the air.
Oh.
The album is called Ouroboros. Ouroboros. I think I'm pronouncing that somehow. I don't know if it's right or wrong, but I'm pronouncing it.
It's getting out there.
Check out Ezra Yates at www.facebook.com/Ezra Yates Music. And you can download this and other Ezra Yates albums at ezrayates.bandcamp.com. Go make some fucking music.
For more EMG Radio, visit www.emgradio.blogspot.com or our official website, www.electronicmusiciangroup.com. You can also find us on Facebook at www.facebook.com/electronicmusiciangroup.
Get your shit together.
Probably
Everybody
good.
else. Why? What happened here, everybody? Where'd you go? Am I the only one? Doing nothing?